The country was actually built on a ship. However, not a single person would maintain the ship, even though it was leaking severely. Everyone still didn't think there was any problem. If a traveler tried to remind them of this, the residents on the ship would be hostile to him. Their ancestors had lived on the ship for generations. In their view, the ship was like land, and they never thought that the ship would sink one day. One day, a traveler came here. He found that the ship was not only severely damaged, but also had countless leak points on the hull. Combining the construction drawings of the ship, he realized that if things continued like this, the hull would sink sooner or later. He hurried to the captain to explain the situation, but the captain didn't care at all and even told him not to meddle. However, the traveler couldn't stand by and watch everyone head towards destruction. So on this day, the traveler, armed with weapons, came to the base of the tower, where the rulers of the country lived. He was prepared to persuade them to repair the ship. If they refused, he would overthrow the regime and let everyone freely choose their own future. But the rulers rejected the traveler through a loudspeaker. Since that was the case, the traveler had no choice but to resort to force. In response, the rulers also hired a traveler as a bodyguard to deal with this situation. During the confrontation, the bodyguard learned the truth from the traveler and changed his mind, deciding to join the traveler in saving the citizens. They charged all the way to the top of the tower and finally met the ruler of the ship there. But what happened next was shocking. The ruler suddenly proposed to pass the throne to the traveler. Before the traveler could react, the ruler disappeared right before his eyes. In this way, the traveler effortlessly saved the country. He steered the ship to the shore and then gathered all the residents inside, telling them that he had driven away the ruler and that they could now live freely on land. He had expected everyone to be grateful to him, but instead, the residents hurled insults at him. They had grown accustomed to living on the high seas. The peaceful and stable environment on land, on the contrary, filled them with panic. The traveler insisted that the ship was about to sink, but the residents refused to believe him. In the end, they all chose to return to the ship. The traveler's original intention was kind, but he had overlooked the residents' long-standing dependence on the ship. They simply lacked the ability to live on land. To them, the ship was their true land. They would continue to drift on the high seas in the future, until one day they would sink to the bottom of the sea along with the ship. In their view, staying on the ship was the best outcome,